Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. From Green Wellness Life, we are joined once again today by Brandy Palmer. Excited to have her here, and we're going to have a great discussion as we did last year. Just to introduce her, she's just outside Grand Rapids. So again, we're talking Michigan, but she can work with you anywhere around the United States, correct?
Absolutely.
Or is it worldwide yet? Not sure.
No, I can't be responsible for knowing the laws in all the other countries. So we just keep it
Perfect.
stateside.
So hemp products, emphasis on CBD, online retail store. You have a lot to talk about here in West Michigan. So would you mind just introducing yourself? Tell us a little bit about the company.
Yeah, I'd love to. Thanks so much for having me back, Jill. I had a great time chatting with you last week. So I
Ditto,
love the
ditto,
opportunity
ditto.
to be here. Awesome. Awesome. So we are a two-woman operation just outside of Grand Rapids, like you mentioned. We have a small boutique store and we focus on hemp and CBD. We have been doing this for over 6 years now, which in the hemp field is a lifetime.
Yeah.
So we've gotten to know lots of people and hopefully help lots of people really focus on a more natural alternative and keeping well and keeping healthy, which I know is so critical for all of us right now.
Perfect. And let's get started by just talking about some of the specific products you use and what are some of the benefits. And I know a little later, guys, stick around. We're going to get into the whole myth busting of, products in general and what people think is true, what's not true, which I'm sure a lot of it is myths. Greenwellnesslife.com. So, yeah, tell us a little bit more about the products.
Yeah, we actually don't manufacture anything. And we do that on purpose, Jill, because I want to make sure that I can help people find their best fit. And I don't think that there's any one product line today that does that.
Yeah.
So I carry almost 30 different brands today. And we cover everything from pet products to topicals. So things that can be great for itchy skin or sunburn, which I'm dealing with right now. So I've been lathering it on to kind of try to heal my skin. We also focus on everything from gummies, which are super popular just because they are easy, to CBD oils, to even selling the raw paste, the extract that came right out of the plant. Sometimes people want to do their own DIY at home, learn how to make their own balms or, keep things as close as they can to that plant in the ground, and we can help them with that.
Great. Well, we're excited to have you here. And do you want to start with the myth busting? Shall we?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, so is it true CBD is illegal?
No, it's not
It's
true.
confusing. I'm
It is
confused because
It is confusing. So there was a bill here in the US that was the Farm Bill in 2018, and that made hemp fully federally legal.
and
And a lot
hold
of
on.
people
And
go,
what is hemp
yeah,
compared to
yeah,
CBD? Let's just get that out too as well. Thank you.
Mhm. Absolutely. So hemp and marijuana are cousins, if you will. They share a lot of the same compounds, but the big difference is the amount of THC. And of those more than 100 different compounds in there, most of them won't make your head fuzzy. We're just not that much fun.
Okay.
So THC is much, much higher in a marijuana plant and lower in a hemp plant. So, they've really been treated the same. And if we go way back in history, they were treated the same because hemp has a lot of uses even outside of CBD and really was a competitor for the paper industry, for a lot of other big, big businesses. So they said, all right, forget it. We're just going to call this marijuana and put them all
Yeah.
under one roof, when really that's not true. So in 2018, steps were taken to separate the two and say, okay, hemp can't have very much THC, not going to make your head fuzzy, but we can do a lot more things with it. That was the point at which it became fully federally legal.
Got
And
it.
then there are laws allowing you to grow hemp even in every state right now. You might have to jump through some hoops and make sure that you're following the regulations in your area, but it is legal and it is something that you're able to do. And it's legal across the board, which is awesome. Even when I got started, 6 years ago, we thought it was pretty much legal, but there was still some gray areas. So thankfully, those are cleaned up now.
Got it. Now, hemp and marijuana are the same plants.
Ish. They're in the same species,
I
right?
didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but when you grow them, you actually grow them with different intent because you use all parts of the hemp plant. So it kind of grows like bamboo, like really tall and skinny because you can use that fiber to make t-shirts. I sell awesome t-shirts and bracelets and bags that are all made from hemp here.
Oh, wow.
There's actually a car out there that the exterior is made from hemp and
A
it runs on
car,
hemp. So
CAR,
yeah,
an
Isn't
automobile.
that
Are you
cool?
serious?
Yep.
I gotta
Mhm.
Google that later. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
no,
Oh
it's
my
super cool.
gosh.
It's super cool.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do all kinds of things with it. But when you're growing marijuana, you're just really interested in that bud. That's the part that you can smoke or put into a product. So it kind of grows where it's shorter and stocky, and you're just looking for those buds versus the hemp plant where you want to use all of it, the seeds and stalks and everything really has a purpose in the hemp plant.
Awesome. I didn't know that. I honestly
Yeah.
thought they were the same. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, Marijuana has more medicinal properties than hemp. True or false?
False, false. It does have that higher THC level, and I am not going to knock that. For people that are
Okay.
hurting, that are living with chronic pain, they might need that, right? They need that for some pain
Mm-hmm.
relief to get their mind off things. So there is certainly a place in the market and in the world for that. But CBD is really the neutralizer. That's the one that's getting into our bodies and trying to level us out, keep everything on an even keel, and just keep us in neutral, which is where we all want to be. And
Okay.
CBD is what's doing that. So when you're getting marijuana, might be high CBD, might not. So you might not actually be getting the benefits that you're looking for. You have to be careful and do a little bit more digging into what it is that you're actually putting in your body.
Interesting. All right. Hemp can get you high.
Nope, we're boring. Thumbs
No,
down.
so no THC. So the
Well,
oh,
sometimes there's none, and sometimes there is a little bit because it occurs in the plant, right? It
okay.
grows there naturally. So if you're taking a whole plant product, it's gonna have a little baby bit in there, but not enough to make you high.
But THC is really responsible for the high feeling.
It is. Yep, that's
Okay.
the intoxicating part.
Okay.
Exactly
Okay.
right.
Okay.
You got this. You
All
got
right. I'm
this. We can
learning.
start answering
Thanks to
these
you.
questions
All
still.
right. I don't know. I know. Okay. Okay. CBD is good. THC is bad.
No, I don't believe that either. Like I said just a minute ago, I think that there's a space for both of them. There is a need for both of them. There's actually something called the cannabinoid wheel, and cannabinoid is just the fancy name for all those compounds in the plant. And scientists are really breaking out different benefits from the different compounds. So THC can help make you sleep, which, gosh, we all need that.
Yeah.
THC can make you hungry, which can be really beneficial if your body is trying to heal and you just don't want to eat. You need to, right?
Got it.
THC can
Yeah.
do a lot of really good things for you. So every compound has its own benefits and its own place in the plant.
So let me ask you just a quick question here. You know how doctors started prescribing and still do medicinal medication, right?
Mhm.
Is that the THC? Are they what exactly to help with pain? So is that
Yeah.
marijuana they're prescribing in a liquid
It
form,
is.
or is it or a pill? Like, yeah, I'm confused about that. So they're not prescribing CBD, they're not prescribing hemp, they're prescribing marijuana.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. They're prescribing marijuana, which is going to have higher than the federally legal limit of THC, which is 0.3%. So it is a teeny tiny bit. But just like you can get CBD from me in all different packages and all different strengths, you can do the same thing at a dispensary for marijuana. So you can get things that
Wow.
have a much higher content of THC, CBD, or all those other cannabinoids, or a lower one. So you've got a lot of choices there. So generally, if you've got a medical card or a medical prescription for a dispensary, they might have access to even stronger stuff than a retail person could purchase in a state where that was legal, like Michigan, where we are.
Okay, I got a question of my own. Ready?
Hmm.
Is it true that anyone is allowed to grow marijuana now in the United States?
Nope, not true. False.
Okay. Who can grow marijuana?
Yeah, those laws vary state by state, and every state has set their own limitations on how many plants can be grown, whether they can be indoor or outdoor, if you have to grow in a specific location,
Okay.
all of those. Just because hemp is federally legal, marijuana still is not. So every
Ah,
state has their own individual laws. The last time I looked it up, though, Jill, almost every state is on board with some form of marijuana legality, whether it's
mm-hmm.
just that medical aspect or retail. I feel like there are just three or four holdouts, but don't hold me to that. I'd have to do some digging to confirm.
Perfect. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. THC is considered good, but the CBD is really useless.
No, absolutely not. Just like there's a place for THC, there's a place for CBD. That's what's really binding to those cells and leveling them out, keeping us in neutral and just, keeping us feeling like we can manage things and like we're on a level playing field.
Great. Only kids and like young adults, teenagers, and stoners are into hemp.
Yeah, I hear that a lot, but it's just not true. When I started this business, I came at it from the perspective of being a mom with young kids that was looking for more natural options to keep my family healthy. A lot of my customers are doing the same thing. Women in their 40s, which is what I am. Um, they were kind of the bulk of my customers when I started, but I'm really starting to see that desire for natural alternatives and wellness, expand. And so it's definitely not anybody looking to get high because I don't have that and I'm just not that much fun, but we can definitely get you healthy. And a lot of people right now, I think, are taking their health into their own hands and want to have that control.
Great. Okay. So now, let me ask you this. CBD, THC are the only two compounds found in hemp.
Mm, no, not true, but they are the ones we know the most about. This is still new science. It's only been since the 70s and 80s
I should have knew
that,
that. You just kind of mentioned that the whole
yeah, yeah,
cannabinoid. How do I say it?
cannabinoid. Yep.
Cannabinoid wheel. Okay. Okay. Yeah. What
Mhm.
other things are they finding?
We call the others minor cannabinoids, and it's not minor in that they don't have much value. It's just that they generally occur in a really small quantity in those plants. So you have to get a lot of plants
Yeah.
to be able to increase that. But there are things like CBDA, which is the acidic compound.
Mm-hmm.
It only occurs until the plant is heated, might occur naturally with sunlight, otherwise, heat processing. We love that for pain. That acidic offshoot and that acidic tail tends to really bind really well to those cells and help with inflammation relief in people who are living with chronic discomfort. CBN will make you sleepy. CBG, they're finding, is a smaller molecule that's able to help us with things in our brain just because it can pass through that barrier more quickly and get to work up there. And I mean, there are more than 100, and we are learning new things literally every day. It's not an exaggeration to say that, we're hearing new and exciting options and possibilities for all of these all of the time. It's continual. And I love that science has just, started to take an interest and really delve into what the plant can do.
Perfect. All right. Hemp seed oil and CBD are the same. Is that true?
No, they're not. Hemp seed oil is awesome for your hair, nice and conditioning. You can put it on your salad, filled with omegas, so super good for you. But it's not going to have that CBD content that's going to bind to your cells and keep you in neutral. Those are actually separate. The CBD content's predominantly going to be found in the hemp flower, a little bit in the seeds and stalks as well, but predominantly in the flower.
Okay.
Where the oil is going to come from those seeds. So put it on your salad, but you're not going to be getting all the benefits that you're looking for there.
Interesting. Interesting.
Mhm.
Okay. You have to take a lot of CBD in order to notice the benefits.
That one is false, but that is actually a super common misconception.
And
Generally, when
how do
people,
you measure it? Like, say, liquid
yeah,
form. Like, how much is a normal dose for someone?
super good question. So usually when you see a quantity on a bottle, people think, oh, well, that's what I'm taking every day, but it's not. It's how much is in the whole bottle.
Okay.
So you come to me and say, well, I'm taking 1,000 milligrams a day. You're not. There's 1,000 milligrams in your bottle. So if we divide that by 30 and you're taking a full dropper, you're getting about 33 milligrams a day. Now, it does vary a little bit depending on what type of processing you're taking for CBD. So if it's isolated CBD where they fish through all those compounds and just pull out the CBD and plunk that in your bottle, you might need a
Okay.
little bit more. So people generally start to find a benefit around 25 milligrams. But if it's a whole plant where you're taking all of that and keeping it together, you don't tend to need as much. So we usually start people small at around 15 or so milligrams a day and then work up if they have to. Some people are really sensitive and just do very well with a small amount. I have customers that swear by 5 or 10 milligrams a day. And then I have other customers that need 100 milligrams and say, it's still not getting me all the way there, but it's helping. So all of us process a little bit differently. And we have to work to find our unique best fit. Every system truly is unique here, but we start small and work up if you need to.
Great. And now let me ask you this. Can you put CBD oil like in coffee?
Yeah, that's a sometimes. So neither true nor false. It's a maybe.
Okay.
CBD naturally is an oil. So what do they always say about oil and water?
Yeah, you can't. Well, it's like fire and gasoline. You don't mix like
They don't mix. They don't mix.
yeah.
So if you throw CBD in your coffee, it's going to float on top or it's going to stick to the side of your cup. So
Really?
you're going to think, I got all this awesome stuff.
Not really
Maybe not.
getting it.
Maybe
Ah,
you
I
left it
didn't
in the
know
sink with the
that.
coffee. Yeah, but they do have more heavily processed options that are water soluble. So they've taken that oil, broken the tail off of it, and converted it to a salt so that it can mix with water. And then yes, you can put it in your iced coffee, still stay clear of hot liquids because it'll change it up. But there are some options there. But a normal traditional CBD oil, nope, pop it under your tongue or just put it in your mouth, but don't put it in your coffee.
Okay, good to know. I didn't know that. Wow. What about hemp? It's only helpful for humans, not animals?
No, all mammals have the same system. We can all see benefits, those neutralizing options. I help a lot of people with dogs and cats, and they do make products for even larger animals. That's not something that I do, but the options are for sure out there. Any mammal can see some benefits.
Got it. Okay, cool. Let's see. There are no CBD pharmaceuticals.
Ooh, that one is actually not true. There is one. So there is GW Pharmaceuticals makes Epidiolex, and it is approved for a few different types of seizures. That is an isolated CBD product. So they have fished out, just pulled that compound out, put it into their end product. Generally, they're recommending pretty high doses because they're dealing with major issues there. But yeah, there's a pharmaceutical company that's in the hemp game.
Wow, awesome to know. Is all CBD the same?
That's what I was kind of alluding to with those different processing types,
Okay.
whether we're pulling out just the CBD and putting that in, or whether we're leaving the plant more intact. So there are different types that can be beneficial for different things. Now, if I have somebody come in and says, I really need to steer clear of THC, whether it's for a job or my own comfort level, um, any of those types of things, we do have options there. Those are going to be isolated or broad spectrum, means that there's no
Yeah.
THC.
What does broad spectrum mean?
Yeah, instead of fishing through and extracting the CBD to plunk it in your bottle, they're fishing through and breaking it all apart looking for that THC to get rid of it. And then they kind of
Ah,
mush the rest of it all back together. I think about it like a stained glass window, right? If you break it and then you put all of your glass back in place, you've got all the same glass there, but it doesn't look the same, right? It's in different areas. I think the same thing is true for broad spectrum CBD. They fished
right.
through, they've broken it all apart, and then they kind of mushed it back together.
Okay. CBD works immediately as soon as
Yeah,
you
I
take it.
wish.
No.
I wish. And that's something people tend to get frustrated by. Your system has to understand what the heck to do with it. So that is your endocannabinoid system. Really big word, but that's just the system in our bodies that's doing that work of keeping us level. And then when we take in products that are similar to what our body already makes to keep us on an even keel, it binds to that. Well, when you start taking them, your endocannabinoid system or ECS doesn't know what the heck to do with this stuff. So for most people, we say it takes about a week for it to start to get to work and to understand what's happening there. Then you might need to adjust that serving size. We really want to see full benefits within the first 2 weeks. Now, once
Wow.
you've been taking it regularly, if it's something you're eating, you still have to digest it, right? So, still not going to get to work immediately. Figure 45 minutes to an hour for your body to do the work of digesting
I've heard that CBD can cure everything,
it. Yeah,
anything.
I wish if
Yeah,
that was true,
that would
I
be
would have an answer for
okay.
sure. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. You
Okay.
know, there's nothing that can cure everything. This can help a lot of different areas, but certainly it's not a cure-all. It's not going to fix everything, and I would never tell anyone that it would. And if someone is working with a CBD salesperson that is saying it'll fix their XYZ, run away. You don't want to make those types of promises. You certainly don't want to hold up expectations that aren't real life. This is a tool, and there are a lot of tools out there that can help us live healthier lives. This is just one of them.
And then there's naysayers out there who say CBD is all BS and they say it's a
Hmm.
scam.
Yeah, yeah, sometimes it is. I mean, we've all seen those Shark Tank ads, right? That everybody is talking about how great the gummies are and that it'll fix everything. That is a scam. That's people that are looking to make a quick buck and prey on people that are hurting and are looking for a solution. So it can be pretty critical to make
Wow.
sure that you're buying from a reputable source, that you can see lab results that tell you what the heck is in that bottle, that you've got a real person you can call on the phone, right? You
Yeah.
can track them down and make sure that it's not just some fly by night operation because unfortunately in this industry there are a lot of them.
Wow. Oh my goodness. This is a lot. So, see, there's no one out there to answer your questions on hemp and CBD. What? What? No,
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 I'm here.
no.
I'm here,
You
Jill. I can help.
are. Come on. You're an expert. You have so much knowledge. And I was telling Brandy when I got on the line with her before we started the show is that she taught me so much when we spoke last week. And it was really cool because
Oh, I love that.
I've talked to other people. I grew up The truth is, on Long Island, and my brother used to grow marijuana legally. Oh my God, arrest me. Totally. And my father, and I'm like, and I still never even tried marijuana, nothing, because that scared me that they were doing something so illegal back then. And now,
Yeah.
like, everyone's doing marijuana or parts of it, whatever you want to call it. But
Mhm.
so this is coming from someone who, used to put them down like, this is bad what you're doing. I guess technically because it's illegal, but not really knowing there's benefits. And my brother tried telling me, oh, well, this and that. And I'm like, no, 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 no. So
Yeah.
it's good to hear there's some truisms in that, from my
Mhm.
family. And
Mhm.
let me ask you, what is the total difference if someone's smoking marijuana
Mhm.
compared to the if they're taking a lot of THC or CBD? Like what can you explain that? Because that's where I get confused. Why is CBD considered legal, but marijuana is not? So what's in marijuana? High elements of THC that make it illegal? Is it
Exactly.
so it's
Because
the
that's
high
what's going to be
potency of THC,
intoxicating.
which is the one that makes you high. See, you are
Yep. Yep. But I mean, high's not necessarily a bad thing. And again, there's all different levels. I went into a dispensary here in Michigan, and the bud tender asked me, what are you looking for? Are you looking for your grandma's weed or Snoop Dogg's weed?
ah, I
Grandma,
love it.
all day, grandma.
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
there's a place for it, but there are all kinds of different benefits for those different compounds. It just really depends on what people are looking for and what they need. But I definitely want to take that fear stigma out of it because you can see health benefits and you can definitely do that without being high.
Wow. This is awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's go back specifically to your products, to your shop. Remind us of your contact information and website, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Greenwellnesslife.com. Don't forget the life, greenwellnesslife.com. You can link over and do some shopping. But more importantly, if you're just getting started, we've got links to tons of blogs and information, lots of ways for you to learn and educate yourself. And if you still have questions, that is why I'm here. So toll free, our number is 888-772-7875. Again, it's 888-772-7875, or shoot me an email at support@greenwellnesslife.com. Again, we're a two-woman operation, so odds are pretty good that you're going to get an answer from me. Or Hannah is spectacular. She's here as well. We try to keep things really personal and make sure that we're taking care of people. And we know it's a journey when you're getting started. So we've got a guarantee on all of our products. If somebody tries something and feels like it's not their best fit, no worries. We will try again. That's what we do.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And now you mentioned you have little ones yourself. Explain how you got involved in this business. What were you doing before?
Yeah, it was an accident. I was a program manager for a manufacturing company, and my husband and I had competing schedules. We were both working those, 50, 60-hour weeks, and then our kids were small. So they were, gosh, like 3 and 5, 4 and 6 at that point in time. And if somebody had a runny nose, it was the end of the world because neither of us could take a day off.
I get it.
So, yeah, I took a step back and took a part-time position for a company that manufactured hemp. And that was really my education. I thought it would be a fun summer gig until I figured out what I wanted to do, big kid job. And here I am. That was, oh gosh, probably 9 years ago now. My kids now are 12 and 15. So they've gotten a little older, which is nice because I can spend more time on this, which is super. But my kids are supportive and they come in and help me package up products and hang out with mom at the store. So it's been great, but it was fully an accident, which I think is probably true for a lot of people that start their own
All right, teenagers. Why would
business.
teenagers be using CBD or hemp? Like, tell me some benefits for youngins. Is it for like anxiety, studying, tests? I mean, for sleeping? Could you explain that? Like, I'm
Mm,
assuming you let your children use these products, right?
I do. It's a tough time to be a kid right now. And so I think things like test anxiety and just, general stress about the
Yeah.
world can really get to them. So, anytime I'm talking kids, I want to steer clear of anything with THC, keep it as clean as possible, limited ingredients. But I do, my kids do take some things to kind of help them in terms of mood. And then both of my kids are athletes. So we use a
Wow.
ton of roll ons and rubs and CBD patches for sore shoulders and injured knees and all kinds of things. I've got a soccer player and a football player, so somebody's always banged and bruised and needing some extra healing at my house.
Awesome. This is good to know. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So again, let's remind them, Brandy, how we can reach you and also social media pages.
Yeah, for sure. We are on Facebook. We are on Insta, Green Wellness Life on both of those. We just set up as my 12-year-old tells me, a very cringy TikTok. So if you want to giggle at me and see silly things, then check out our Green Wellness Life TikTok. Otherwise, greenwellnesslife.com. Check out the
Awesome.
website. Maybe somebody's calling right now, Jill. Probably not.
Perfect. Go. There you go. Well, go take the call. Pleasure talking to you again. Have a great day, great week, and we'll talk next week. Go take your call. Don't miss your business.
Thanks, Jill.
All
Appreciate
right.
you.
Bye, sweetheart.
Bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.